Add up every catastrophe you've ever feared. Now, count how many actually happened. The gap between those two numbers is the most expensive thing you own, and you're about to stop paying for it. 2,000 years ago, a man who advised Roman emperors left behind one line that explains nearly all of it. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. His name was Seneca, and he meant it literally. The diagnosis, the confrontation, the ruin, the humiliation you were certain was coming, most of it never arrived. But you paid full price anyway, the sleepless nights, the knot in your stomach, the dread that soured perfectly fine days. Ignore what he saw and you'll keep getting billed for disasters that never come. Catch it and your nights get quieter. Start with why your mind does this. Your brain is above everything a threat prediction machine built over millions of years to keep your ancestors alive. It kept them alive by imagining what could go wrong and treating it as urgent. A mind that overestimated danger lost a little sleep. A mind that underestimated it faced serious consequences. So you inherited an organ that manufactures worst-case scenarios and hands them to you as breaking news. Fear, most of the time, isn't information about the world, it's a forecast, and usually a wildly pessimistic one. The moment it hits label, it forecast, not fact. The modern threat may be a curt email, but your alarm system reacts as though it's something much larger. Here's the trap underneath it. Your mind runs catastrophe movies in your own voice, then hands you the screenplay as if it were a news report. Because it sounds like you believe it on sight. Don't argue with it, arguing is just more fuel. Drag it into the light instead. A fear left in the dark is infinite, but a fear written down has edges, and edges can be measured. So when the spiral starts, stop running the movie and put it on paper. 3 lines worst case spell the disaster out in full. Naming it usually shrinks it. Best case, just as possible, write it anyway. Most likely, case boring, ordinary, survivable, which is where reality almost always lands. Then add the one question, fear never lets you reach. If the worst actually happened, could I cope and how? The monster shrinks the instant you make it, tell you specifically what it plans to do. 3 lines and the fear backs off. But reassurance fades, so do the deeper moves. Pull up one worst-case scenario you were once certain about that either never came or that you survived, and write down exactly how you got through it. You have a long-documented record of outlasting your own predictions. Next time the spiral starts, run the 3 scenarios on paper before your mind runs them in the dark. Fear is a forecast, not a fact, and you'd survive even the storm it keeps predicting. Anxiety is the tax you prepay on a future that almost never comes due. Learn how to stop catastrophizing calm anxiety fast, and tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined one using a simple 3-scenario method you can use tonight. This video unpacks why anxiety feels so convincing, why fear is usually a forecast rather than a fact, and how to disarm the spiral with the worst case, best case, most likely tool, plus the one coping question that shrinks any fear. It closes with the evidence move that proves you've already survived the disasters you were sure would destroy you. For anyone dealing with anxiety, overthinking, catastrophizing, or chronic worry, this method is practical and immediate. Inspired by books and adapted from a series chapter, this approach is rooted in practical psychology and ancient wisdom.